What's up, y'all? Welcome to another review by Ryan. Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday, July 20th, and I hope you all are doing well and having a great week wherever you're at in the world. Before we start the reaction, I've said this in a few videos, you will see this band on my arm throughout the video. My middle brother is currently in the hospital due to an unexpected injury he sustained, and this is my visitation band, so I have to wear this until he gets out, so you will see this. But with that said, we will be reacting to the third episode of the second season of Made in Abyss, the Made in Abyss season of the Golden City of the Scorching Sun. And the title of today's episode is going to be Village of the Hollows. So in the last episode, it really was an exploratory episode as we got to follow Nanachi, Reg, and Riko through their tour and exploration of the sixth layer, getting used to the environment, which is hot as hell, which is similar to how it is in my current real life environment, hot as hell. Virginia's on fire right now, as is most of the country, and really it looks like the whole Western Hemisphere right now. So they got to get used to the heat of the environment, the animals that are present, how much difficult it's going to be to get things like mail transported up to the surface because they've already tried to send a piece of mail and it was easily intercepted by monsters there. And above all, we almost saw Riko die once or twice throughout the episode. So it definitely was an exploratory episode, and it was nice getting to see them get adjusted to things. Of course, the biggest scare that happened was Riko lost her whistle already. So, I've been talking about the fact that I need her, she's going to be really careful because that whistle is pretty much a lifeline while they're down there, and it's already been stolen. Now, of course, it really wasn't her fault because it sounds like whatever creature or being stole it had a way to avoid detection in every way and clearly left marks and indicators of who took the whistle. So we've now stumbled in finding and tracking down who it was that took the whistle upon this village that was a little deeper down in the sixth layer, the village which is full of what appears to be hollow creatures. And we ended up meeting the individual looks like it says Majikaji. I didn't get his name when they were saying it in the last episode, but Majikaji they have interacted with, and it appears he is going to take them to where the whistle is. But we got an ominous indicator at the end of the episode by Riko herself that little did they know that humans are not able to return it with their physical bodies intact once they get to that village and that zone. So the reality is about to hit very hard in this episode. And so my initial thoughts going into today's episode is shit's about to really hit the fan. I'm really scared. I've been scared since the movie. I've been scared since the first couple of episodes of the first season, and every time we get something catastrophically wrong that happens, with a show like this, you just keep in your mind that things can only get worse, and they are only going to get worse. And they are really deep down there now. Now, of course, this is Final Dive, so no one's coming back alive, particularly Riko at this point. But you still want to see some type of miracle come out, and I just don't see a miracle coming. This is bad news with them being in the village, and above all, I am pretty confident that the villagers in that village was the old expedition group, the group that we saw at the start of the season. And if it is, that will answer a very critical, gut-wrenching question of if they were still alive and what happens to people who stay too long in the lower layers. So that's just my initial opinion, and obviously we're going to get a lot more answers to that as the episode goes along. So before we do start the reaction, I did just want to talk about how the show is doing as of the third episode release. Per Mal, this is actually Made in Abyss's highest ranked show in its running in its history on the Mal platform. Currently, the season sits at an 8.76. It got as high as a 9.22. And in the first episode before the scores settled out, but it settled out incredibly highly. It is being thought of incredibly favorably up to this point, and I do really expect the score to start ticking up a little bit as the future episodes progress. And then as far as your rating platforms go, we finally did see it crack the top 10 in Anime Corner. Y'all know I was very disappointed last week that it didn't even make the first week's list whatsoever, but due to some new entries and due to things starting to settle out in the second week. We did see Made in Abyss make the top 10. It was right at 10, but again, I do feel it's going to slowly but surely climb its way up to top spots. And then I'm also going to put up the anime trending one in just a moment. And as you will see on the anime trending one, Maiden, they just released their first week of anime ratings for the summer season, and Made in Abyss sits in 7th place. So Made in Abyss is definitely a top 10 show. It is one of my top 3 shows for this current season, and I'm really scared to see what's going to happen. So enough talk. We're going to go ahead and kick this off. Also, one thing I wanted to say, big thank you to those who are actually starting to comment on my videos, and I wanted to address one comment. I'm also going to make a separate video about this. I know you guys would like me to be able to put a video overlay of some sort in my reactions, even though I have the timestamp. Some of you would just like to be able to see part of the video so that you know where I'm at with the episode. At the present moment, I'm a little hesitant to do that due to copyright. When I have music issues, as y'all know, I use music from the original soundtracks, and sometimes I might use an opening or closing theme to a show, and I can get away with that. If I get hit with a copyright issue, I can just replace the song. If I get hit with a video issue because there's something on screen they don't like, it might end up completely eradicating my whole video, and it could cause a copyright strike on my channel. So while I know there are some other reactors who do that right now, I'm trying to figure out if the blur method will work, or if I'm even going to do that at all. So just bear with me a little longer. I appreciate you guys coming to me and saying you'd like to see that, but I'm just not at a comfortable point. I just started this channel, and I don't want the channel to be taken offline by accident. So I really do appreciate your understanding on that, and I will definitely let you guys know when I am able to do that. So with that said, let's go ahead and get this episode started. Again, this is the 3rd episode titled Village of the Hollows. And as a final reminder, I do use HIDIVE, as HIDIVE is the exclusive one showing this on the West. So if you do watch this video along on your end and you are not using HIDIVE, you will want to wait a few seconds before you start your video. So let's go ahead and get this episode started in 3, 2, 1. I really do love the opening. Why do I get chills every time I watch anything in this show? This opening has me having so many chills. Oh, I'm not looking forward to seeing any more of this fucking show. Because this opening. Okay. She's like, what in the hell? This is probably an exempt area. Yep, that's what I thought. Yep. It's nice though that Rico is being a little more conscious to that now. That, yo, you can't just be ascending. Yeah. It would not surprise me. Because as crazy as Vonrid was, I'm fearful of any future white whistle we find. Can you not? Oh, she can tell. Is it cleaning up the whistle? It's not in its true form. Okay, so they're straightening it up. Okay, so they're looking out for them. At least we know her whistle is fine. But man, they can't just be taking that though without announcing themselves. I swear. Yeah. Wow. Yep. So they definitely have all retained their intelligence. Yep. They could find some crazy stuff down here. Oh wow. Yeah. What would you have? What? Hell no, bruh. Hell no. We not doing all that down here. See. See. Okay. So they still have morals. It's very doubtful. I like how this man really just told Rico just offer up your whole body. Good old Rico, I tell you. Oh my goodness. Let's see. I see. Yeah. I just love how in this show we're just so casual about creatures and things just completely destroying other creatures and things and bodies. Mm, I see. Oh, bruh. Not that she's like, that's exactly what you get. What the fuck just happened? Oh, yo. Yo, I was saying, what the hell just happened? What in the hell? The balancing? What is that? We got to go. Ain't nothing working out so far, and things are just slowly but surely. Oh no. What in the hell is that? Oh, so it's punishment. Oh. But since you said it had no value, everything's going to be taken and destroyed. I wouldn't make anyone feel better. Well, it's kind of too late for that now. Uh, and they're going to destroy the creature itself? Exactly. Thank you very much. You're being offered value. Yeah. And I'm assuming she can use that to get that letter. Uh, yeah. Well, that worked out, but that was one gruesome way to see that work out. Ah, how in the world? See, and this is why I keep saying Rico does pay attention to stuff. She might not be the smartest person, but she does listen. Yeah. Yo, there was a lot that just happened in this last 6, 7 minutes. Yeah, we just watched him literally kill a person because said person messed around and took something that exceeded a value that they were willing to deal with. Yeah. Bruh, times are rough down here. Oh my. Bruh. I'm just gonna have to starve. And I'm an adventurous person. Ah! And it's the last thing you're gonna be doing. So let's not kill ourselves before we get to the bottom. That's what I'm saying. Now you gonna have to go shit the rest of the episode. To the toilet you go. And we're getting another shitting scene. Listen, I swear. Oh my goodness. Okay, we will not have to stick around for that this time around. Thank goodness. Fapta! Fapta! Oh no! So Fapta is still here. Oh, that's our first from the new group. That's probably the one who stole was Fapta. Yeah, but I don't think they're really moving. The runs. Because of that abysmal food y'all had. Oh my goodness. How long has it been since we saw? Oh man. Oh, so they had been here. Like how they say a suicide squad. I guess we're gonna switch back to their story now. No, actually, your survival odds went way down. Whoo, boy! All right, we got some stuff to unpack there. friend. Well, all right. For those watching Hideout, I'm gonna stop the video right there. This is just cast credits now. All right, so unpack time. Oh, okay. So we have had our introduction to the Village of the Hollows, and in the Village of the Hollows, everything is assigned a value upon entry into the village. Anything can be bought or sold dependent on the value of the item that you wish to trade for. And really, it's more of a barter system than just having cash and this and that. Obviously, there's cash here, but if you did not have cash, then you could also just do a barter, like what happened when Rico wanted to get the note, but obviously the barter would have to have been her own life. But despite that, there is a sense with the protection that they have. There is a sense of morality and rule following down here. And if you mess with something that can mess up someone's value, or if you mess with something that is beyond the value of which you were willing to obtain said item for, it can result in what we saw happen to that creature, in which that creature was destroyed, mutilated, killed, broken apart, and then the money from said value was given to Rico and her gang. And it was a gruesome way, and again, it's something that Made in Abyss does very well of teaching us the grandiose consequences for actions that happen in this show. Again, it's not just getting a pat on the back or a warning. When you make a mistake in a show like this, that mistake more or less will cost you your life. So, and that's just something that everyone comes to accept. So, yeah, it was definitely a very interesting introduction into this village, and quite a gruesome one, quite an interesting one, very unique, and obviously we're going to find out a lot more. It looks like, especially since we are now about to switch back to the parallel story. Well, not to the parallel, because we know that our first group has got there way many hundreds of thousands of years before Rico and them got here, even though I still am just assuming it's been thousands of years because we don't truly know how long it has been since they ventured into the pit. But we are switching back to them now, so it's going to be very interesting in learning both what the hell happened to them when they got into the village, and why Fapata has now turned into the princess in that area. And clearly is still alive, but it's a different form, and God knows what pain and suffering Fapata has been through up to this point. And then, of course, we got runny food, shitty looking food, and Rico now having the shits again. So, and y'all heard me say that at that point because, the running theme is they made us have to listen to Rico take a crap in the first part of the seasons. And I had some friends that were not the biggest fans of it. Obviously I know y'all explained that where Rico was taking it, now that she was having a laugh at that because it was going to go back up to where Bondred was. And so it was just like payback's a bitch to him. So yeah, but I could care less about watching someone, when I say I could care less, I don't really care for it, but it is what it is. It's just, I'm kind of glad we didn't have to sit through that a second time, and that we actually went off to focus on other things that were going on in the episode, because things obviously were really taking a turn for the worse outside, which really the turn for the worse is now Fapata's losing her shit. So, wow, the S word has been my favorite word of this reaction, it seems. But there's a lot to take in there. I feel like we have only started to scratch the surface, and really we only have really started to scratch the surface of this village and the true consequences of everyone being in this village, and the things that they had to surrender in order to gain the protection and the bodies that were appropriate for being down here. And I'm very intrigued. I have a lot of questions. I do have a lot more questions than I have answers this episode, but I know in typical fashion to this show, it was very similar in the first season, where I really didn't start getting a lot of answers to my questions until the second half. And now that we're switching back, I'm sure that some of the answers I'm looking for about this village and what happened and what's up with Fapata will come to be answered in our next episode and beyond. So with that said, that is my very raw, rough reaction. Again, another episode that when I finish this reaction video, I'm going to go back and watch again, and I'll definitely say if there's anything that I feel I missed this episode in the next reaction. Thank you so much for watching the reaction, though. If you did like the reaction and like the video, consider liking and subscribing to the channel. If you want to be one of the first to be notified when a new reaction becomes available, hit the bell icon. So with that said, I will see you guys next week for the 4th episode of Made in Abyss Season 2. The episode title is Friend. So until that episode releases, I'll catch you later.